Hello everybody and welcome back to SFF180. Thomas here, your host as always. It is Monday, April the 10th, 2017, and time once again for the mailbag. As always, I hope you have had an absolutely cromulent week. Mine has been not so bad. I really don't have any announcements other than, hey, keep up with the Booktube SFF Awards read-alongs. Get over there to the Goodreads group and make sure that you are current with everything that's going on as we prepare and work our way towards the awards themselves. And other than that, yeah, 9 packages this week, so it's a decent week. Let's see what's in them, shall we? I'm going to start with this white one here from St. Martin's Press. Feels like there's something in here, kind of oversized. Okay, then I was wrong. It wasn't an oversized book. They had just stuffed 2 Tor hardcovers in here, and the first of these is Skullsworn, which is Brian Staveley's new book in his series The Emperor's Blades, the world of the Emperor's Blades, as it were. Let's see, The Chronicle of the Unhewn Throne actually was the name of the trilogy, and this is a new book in that trilogy. It comes out April the 25th in hardcover from Tor. Brian Staveley brings readers back into the world of his acclaimed trilogy and features a familiar narrator. Pierre Lacouture is not an assassin, at least that's what she likes to tell herself. She is Skullsworn, devoted to the god of death, and if all goes well, will soon be a priestess. While Pierre has been training to kill with the most deadly men and women of the world since age 8, she faces the greatest challenge yet in her final trial. To pass, Pierre has 10 days to kill 10 people, people sung about in an ancient hymn. When Pierre hears the song detailing her task for the first time, she barely bats an eye, until the final verse about killing the one you love who will not come again. Oh dear. Okay. Pierre is not sure she's ever been in love, and it goes on from there, and I'm sure that there will nevertheless be severe complications. So here we go. Brian Staveley's newest one, opportunity for me to get fully caught up with the series. But as I said, this comes out on the 25th of April. And also we have one here that will make a lot of people very happy. This is Within the Sanctuary of Wings by Marie Brennan, and it is the final book in the Lady Trent memoirs. This one comes out, let's see, also April 25th. Tor Books is excited to bring you the conclusion to the memoirs of Lady Isabella Trent, Within the Sanctuary of Wings, a delightful adventure in an alternate fantasy world sharing much with our own early 19th century, featuring a headstrong female whose intellect and will won't be stifled by her times, and a refreshingly scientific take on the well-worn fantasy trope of dragons. This series provides an admirable heroine and promises to please both genre fans and skeptics. Cool. All right, then. Looking forward to this, of course, but Within the Sanctuary of Wings, available on the 25th. Okay, well, that's a solid start to the week, if I do say so. Let's see what else we got. This one says it is from Simon & Schuster. All right, this one may be a little bit difficult to see the cover on this one, a little bit dark, but this is a book called The Gauntlet. The author is Karuna Riazi. And this is from a new Simon & Schuster imprint called Salam Reads. It's one of their new imprints in the children's division. Introduces readers of all faiths and backgrounds to a wide variety of Muslim children and families, and offers Muslim kids an opportunity to see themselves reflected positively in published works. Okay, then. Let's see. Well, this one comes out. Let's have a look. Can't find the date. Oh, March 28th. Okay, so I guess this one is already out. But The Gauntlet, when 12-year-old Farah and her 2 best friends get sucked into a mechanical board game called The Gauntlet of Blood and Sand, a puzzle game akin to a large Rubik's Cube, they know it's up to them to defeat the game's diabolical architect in order to save themselves and those who are trapped inside, including her baby brother Ahmed. But first they have to figure out how. Under the tutelage of a lizard guide named Henrietta Peel, and an astronaut Vijay, the Farah, and her friends battle camel spiders, red scorpions, grease monkeys, and sand cats as they prepare to face off with the maniacal Lord Amari, the man behind the machine. Can they defeat Amari at his own game, or will they, like the children who came before them, become cogs in the machine? Okay, well, kind of Jumanji there, but all right, so The Gauntlet, Simon & Schuster, opening things up to a new audience, but this is out available now in stores. I guess this is a middle grade. And this is a Random Penguin title. And this is an arc for Kevin Hearn's new Iron Druid Chronicles book. This one is called Besieged. It comes out July the 11th, but this one appears to be a collection of short works set in that universe. That is exactly what it is. So if you are already a fan, then grab this one early in July. Besieged. Otherwise, I guess not really much to say about it. And next up we have this one that I am very excited for and happy to have at last. One of my most anticipated titles of this year. This is Jeff Vandermeer's Born, the new novel by the author of the Southern Reach trilogy. This comes out April the 25th. Already been sold to Hollywood, apparently. Same producers who are releasing the film of Annihilation, which is coming out very soon. And on this entire sell sheet, there is literally nothing that synopsizes the plot. Well, anyway, I kind of know what it's about. It is in a sort of, this is cli-fi. It's in a world where, you know, the climate and nature has changed and altered. And you have this woman who was a researcher, and she comes upon, while going through some deserted city, looking for things, this strange sort of mutated creature that she calls Born, and things happen from there. But anyway, yes, I'll be reviewing this one soonest, but it comes out on April the 25th. Yep, that one is on like Donkey Kong. And what do we have next? We've got something from Macmillan. And I've got a few friends who are fans of the Pathfinder Tales game, and so they'll be happy to see this. The newest in their ongoing series of tie-in novels. This one's called Gears of Faith. The author is Gabrielle Harboe, whom I have never heard of. But anyway, so this one will be available. Pretty much already is. It came out last week, April the 4th, from Tor. But yes, so I know exactly who would love this among my friends. But Gears of Faith from Gabrielle Harboe. And this one is a little package from Pyre, Prometheus Books. And it's the arc for a book called A Kiss Before Doomsday. And this is an urban fantasy. It's the sequel to a book that came out last year called It Happened One Doomsday, which, as I understand, some people thought was a lot of fun and kind of cute. But this comes out the 11th of July. And the general idea is, when sorcerers disappear off the streets of Denver, the only person to notice a pattern is Drew, proprietor of the Crystal Connection and newly minted sorceress. Monstrous creatures are attacking and dragging off anyone with magical powers. Signs point to forbidden necromancy in the hands of someone trying to fulfill the prophecy of the Apocalypse Scroll. With the dead rising from the grave, Drew fears someone is picking up where the Harbingers left off half a century ago. Now, more than ever, Drew needs half-demon Grayson and his infernal car, Hellbringer. Though Grayson is missing and presumed dead, Drew believes he's alive and trapped at the center of this evil. And it goes on from there, I'm sure, in rather typical kind of tongue-in-cheek, lighthearted, and fun, if you like that sort of thing, urban fantasy style. But Kiss Before Doomsday comes out from Pyre Books on July the 11th. And moving down the list, getting a little closer to the bottom, here's something from Random Penguin. This is the finished copy of Change Agent by Daniel Suarez. It comes out on the 18th, so next Tuesday, a week from tomorrow, and I just got another buzz from the publicist for this one, because apparently Hollywood has picked this up too. So maybe I should bump it up the review queue. But anyway, it says, imagine a world where identity theft becomes literal. Not simply someone stealing your credit card information, someone stealing your DNA and turning you into someone else. How far would you go to get your identity back? Daniel Suarez poses this question to readers in his newest thriller, Change Agent, where he imagines what CRISPR, C-R-I-S-P-R genetic editing technology could lead to in the near future. Okay, well, they refer to that like it's actually a thing, and we should know what it is. Maybe I'll Google it. It says, in 2045, Singapore is the technology capital of the world. Silicon Valley left in the dust after being too slow to adapt to the new age of synthetic biology. Genetic editing has been banned with the exception of curing diseases and genetic disorders. But black market labs that make any kind of vanity edits, hair color, height, athletic prowess, have grown rampant. Okay, kind of like Gattaca. Based in Singapore, star Interpol agent Kenneth Durand leads the agency's most effective team against genetic crime. At the center of this underworld is one man, Marcus Wicks, leader of a powerful cartel known as the Huli Jing, that is behind many of the illegal genetic editing labs. But the Huli Jing have identified Durand too. Commuting home one night, Durand feels a strange prick on his arm while standing on the train platform. And the next thing he knows, he wakes up in a hospital bed, shocked to discover he's genetically transformed into his most wanted suspect, Wicks. Durand realizes he has been dosed with the Huli Jing's radical new change agent that has altered his very DNA. Now pursued by his former colleagues who think he is Wix, Durand is in a race to recover his original DNA from the cartel, but with the technology to genetically edit the living, the Huli Jing could be anyone and everyone, and they have bigger plans to undermine identity itself. So it sounds like Gattaca meets Face Off. If I were to elevator pitch this to an agent in Hollywood. Maybe that's how they sold it. But anyway, could be fun. But it comes out, like I said, April 18th, next Tuesday, by Daniel Suarez. So let me know in the comments. Okay, and moving down the list, getting close to the end here. Package from Hachette. Okay, looking over this looks like it is not SFF at all. Occasionally that happens. They'll just send me something. But you know what? It looks good, so I'm just going to let you guys know about it anyway. This is a book called Spoils. The author is Brian Van Riet, an Iraq War veteran. This comes out April the 18th. And apparently it's a tale all about war and its consequences. They are comparing it to books like The Things They Carried, which I did read and which was actually quite remarkable. It says, Van Riet's tale follows three people whose lives intersect in tragedy during the early days of the Iraq War. And let's see, Cassandra Wighard, a young woman thrust into a combat role in the U.S. Army, Specialist Sleed, a soldier in her unit whose malfeasance sets in motion a chain of terrible events, and Abu al-Hul, an insurgent leader whose faith and authority are challenged by the next wave of super-radicalized jihadists. As our attachment to these vibrantly drawn characters grows, we come to a deeper understanding of why people fight, the realities of gender conflict, and the outsized role of the other in war. So it sounds like it covers a lot of bases in terms of what all of this means. And again, being an Iraq War veteran himself, I guess Brian Van Riet knows whereof he speaks. But all right, for non-SFF, for those of you looking for that kind of thing, Spoils will be out a week from tomorrow. And the last package this week is one from Simon & Schuster, so maybe it'll be a saga item. Oh, and it is, and I'm super crazy excited. The arc here at last for At the Table of Wolves, out July the 11th. This is the new book by Kay Kenyon, and it's an alternate history about spies and skullduggery in an alternate Third Reich. Let me just read off the back here because I don't get cell sheets with these. 1936 England. In the wake of the enormous psychic trauma of the Great War, paranormal abilities have begun to appear in ordinary people. Kim Tavistock, a mild-mannered civilian reporter, happens to have one such talent, the spill, which means people involuntarily spill secrets to her and don't even realize they're doing it. While being treated at Monkton Hall, an ultra-secret training site for people with talents, Kim's caseworker recruits her for a dangerous mission. Go undercover to try to expose the head of Monkton Hall as a German spy. Armed with a cover story, The Spill, and a fierce determination, Kim infiltrates the upper-crust circles of some of Britain's high-end fascist sympathizers and finds herself going head-to-head with a charismatic Nazi intelligence agent with a dangerous secret. He has his own talent. Now Kim is locked in a deadly battle of wills and powers in her effort to disable a devastating, weaponized talent that can breach England's finest defense, its island isolation. To stop the looming invasion, Kim must sabotage the Nazi operation, but there's only one way in: join forces with the Nazi agent, and at stake is nothing short of the fate of the free world. Huh. Okay then, At the Table of Wolves. If you've watched this channel for any length of time, you'll know that I have big love for Kay Kenyon and her work. I think she's a very underappreciated writer, and I'm hoping with this new book that status changes. But July the 11th from Saga Press. Let me know in the comments. And that is it for this week's books, and I think it is a very good haul indeed. What do you guys think? You know the drill. Light them up. Let me know which of these looks most interesting and exciting to you, which you want to see me prioritize in the review queue. And otherwise, please like, share, and sub. That is how SFF180 grows as a channel. And you can also support the channel at its TeePublic store and also at my Patreon, where my Patreon supporters, recruits into Wink's Army, get to watch these Mailbag Monday episodes one day early. And I want to thank all of those people for their extra support and all of you folks for being my viewers. And until I see everybody next time, happy reading.